Well, hello, it's Gregory Bell from RWC Gold Coast. Well, we've just hit the end of the financial year and we're just into the start of the new financial year. And what an interesting time it is. I noticed a softening in our auction performance just in June, which is normal at the end of the financial year. But as soon as July 1 came, inquiries again shot up. So it's been a brilliant year, particularly the last financial year. Our RWC Commercial Gold Coast transacted just under $230 million worth of sales and lease deals. Of that, we had 118 auctions were performed with a success rate of 73%. So again, marvellous figures considering the competition in the market, but more so the lack of stock. What were some of the things we learnt in the last financial year about the Gold Coast commercial and industrial markets? Well, we've learnt that there's still a massive supply problem. There just simply isn't enough commercial, particularly industrial properties. And therefore, the buyers that are out in the marketplace, and they're in big numbers because of the influx of migration, as I've said month and month ago, and still saying it today, we have got a migration challenge and a supply challenge. Just can't keep up with it. So where's that going to send the property market into the new financial year? It's going to send it into continued strength. There are some dark clouds on the horizon. We saw inflation up to 4%. What will interest rates do? The expectation is possibly 1, maybe 2 rises in interest rates by the RBA before Christmas. Is that going to have a massive effect on commercial industrial? Not as much as residential. Rents are still climbing. Vacancy rates, particularly industrial, are very low. Office spaces are still record levels compared to other office markets around this country. And of course, retail is starting to rebound. It's only just now come out that Pacific Fair, our biggest shopping centre, retailers in there are reporting huge sales at the moment. And it's been going on the last 2-3 months. So what's that tell us? That tells us that people are out spending again. And that's good, but it will put pressure on inflation in the coming months. But it's showing that retail is going to have a surge, particularly here in Surfers Paradise, Broadbeach and Southport. And these are really hot markets. And now the incentives that are involved with leasing are changing. Incentives that are involved in the retail market's changing. So we see the sales and the leasing market to continue to be strong into the new financial year. We've got some great auctions on. As we move towards spring, our best selling time, we know that the market's going to really shine again. So for those considering selling, take advantage before interest rates do any movement. We've got a state election, November. We've got a US election, and don't tell me the US doesn't affect the worldwide economies. When they sneeze, we get ammonia. So just remember, it's very important to take that into consideration. And of course, we'll probably be having a federal election next May. They're also game changers. Not only are they game changers, the negativity that comes out of the media. You don't hear a lot of positive things about the Australian economy. You don't hear a lot of positive things about politicians and so on. So it has an effect on some buyers, and it does have an effect on vendors when they consider selling or not. But look, I'm 100% confident, as is Luke, our team leader, with regards to sales and leasing. The Gold Coast has proven to be very resilient to different parts of Australia. And we've got 17,000 people moving to our lovely town every single year, and that is not going to change. We do not have enough properties to house them residentially, and we don't have enough commercial office space because they haven't built enough to house office businesses, and of course industrial is the same. So it's a very bright future ahead for us, but there will be headwinds. If you are considering selling or buying, now's the time to consider it.
All right, Luke Bolden, RWC Gold Coast, and just checking in for another monthly wrap up. and something that is very exciting being the wrap up for the tail end of that 23-24 financial year as well. And what an incredible year that was for us on a leasing capacity, with our team doing in excess of 140 lease transactions across the board, which is just an incredible feat. And a testament to the Gold Coast market, just continuing to go from strength to strength. Now, going into June, traditionally that is a quieter month as we do come into the end of financial year, which is not at all uncommon in terms of business confidence and sentiment in the market. And we did start to see a bit of a slowdown in transactions, but that's not to say that we didn't get some good results either. So a special shout out to Floyd Nundagara in our office and healthcare, doing 2 incredible deals. One at Musgrave Avenue, a freestanding 166 square metre tenancy that did get away on a 3-year term for just over 60 grand a year. And another one at 126 Scarborough Street, which is generally considered the tail end of town, but we are seeing an uplift in inquiry for a lot of those ground floor offices, offering the exposure along Scarborough Street whilst also retaining proximity to Southport, the amenity of Southport, the CBD, the light rail, your courthouse and the likes, with Floyd transacting 180 square metres for close to 66,000 per annum. A shout out to Sterling McInnes as well, our retail leasing specialist, who has just knocked another one away on the Gold Coast Highway down there in Mermaid Beach. So on the back end of obviously seeing some movement with the construction of the light rail, we are still seeing consumer confidence down there with Sterling leasing a 58 square metre tenancy at about $1,000 a square metre on a 3x3 year term as well. Same testament for Sonia Stankovic, who has just leased you're probably all familiar with her, the yellow building on the Gold Coast Highway there in Broadbeach, 150 square metre freestander that she has leased to a Mexican restaurant in excess of $150,000 per year on a 5-year contract as well. So that just proves that there is a lot of consumer, a lot of business confidence, a lot of confidence coming from the operators in that central corridor between Surface and Broadbeach, where we have seen an incredible uplift in boutique developments around there, but there is not a lot of offerings in terms of the F&B, your restaurants, your cafes and the like. So there are some operators coming in, identifying that there is an opportunity there and capitalising on some of these tenancies that are seldom available in those areas. Also, special shout out to Jess Vella and Pat Kavanagh as well, who have just negotiated a 346 square metre industrial transaction down there at Hutchinson Street there in Burleigh Heads, where they have achieved almost $300 a square metre net on a 3x3 year term as well. So that again just reaffirms the confidence and the strength of the industrial market. We are still sitting at an all-time low in terms of vacancies. We are obviously seeing a shift from a lot of your occupiers, a lot of your tenants, and much has been the trend over recent years, not having the ability to lease, looking to purchase in that strata capacity, which has obviously dried up the availability on the sales market as well as the leasing market. So the demand is still well and truly outstripping the supply. And much the same that we are seeing across the office market as well. So whilst we have seen a slowdown in transactions, it's because for the most part, readily available tenancies are not available for lease, and we have seen a shift on those SMEs to start structuring the SMSFs, purchasing those entry-level stratas for themselves and then leasing them back to themselves as well. So while some of the activity might be moving away from the leasing, it is supporting those strata markets. So that just proves how strong the Central Gold Coast continues to be on a leasing capacity. As it always is the case, supply and demand, getting the right stock, it's going to move a lot quicker. What we are seeing that's still falling behind is some of the D and the C grade stock that has become stagnant, with landlords not willing to commit to capital works, to flight to quality, redecoration to bring them up a grade. But the A and the B grade across most segments are the ones that are continuing to move. In saying that as well, it's not just the Gold Coast, it's not just our central CBDs that are doing really well. Special shout out to our M1 North office, Lisa Dunn and Adrian Hamilton, that are just knocking the socks off everybody in terms of their ongoing lease deals and sales deals as well. They are, without a doubt, a force to be reckoned with. Our vacancy rates are at an all-time low. Our transactional rates in both sales and leasing at an incredible high, and the volume is well and truly there as well. So a special shout out to Lisa Dunn as well for meeting Chairman's Elite, which is an incredible result for not only our business, but an agent within our business and somebody that's been a special part of our business for so much time as well. Luke Bolden, RWC Gold Coast. See you next month.